you. So let me get my, hopefully everybody will be able to see this in a minute. So what I do is called target networking. And I apologize, I'm going to be looking off the side of my screen because that's where it just jumped. So a quick little bit of my contact information. I mean, just so you know, I'm an independent insurance agent. Used to be with State Farm for 6 years and got tired of chasing my business by using internet leads and people sending me business, or I'm sorry, sending me leads and having to kind of chase my business. So I figured there's got to be an easy way to do this. The independent model for me was that easier way because it allowed me to really build core relationships with my referral partners, and doing it that way allowed me to be able to, I guess, be a little bit more intentional and consistent. And so that's the process that I'm going to kind of walk through. I call it target networking. So it's completely different than what a lot of conventional networkers have always been promoting, as far as trying to be all things to all people and go to all these events and shake as many hands as you can. And to me, that just seemed like it was a longer process, and it didn't necessarily work very well. So I kind of helped create this, and it's worked very well for me, and it allows me to be able to kind of transition into this time a lot easier. So jumping in here, this is based off of, I would say, a show of hands, but yeah, I can't really see anybody. So if you guys have ever heard of Brian Buffini, Brian Buffini is he's an immigrant that moved here from Ireland, and came over basically with a little suitcase and a dream to be able to live the American dream, and just worked extremely hard, got into real estate in California, and just really perfected the process of following up with customers and being able to be the number one, your referral partner being the number one most important person in your life. And so he created this model that I really like, and so I steal it for him, giving him 100% credit. But I think it's important, and again, I do not promote discrimination, but when it comes to who you are going to use as your referral partners, I'm 100% for it. Because there are, quite frankly, just some referral partners out there that you can meet with, you can spend all this time with, and they really aren't going to give you anything. Or if they do, it is going to be such a small amount of business that the amount of time that you spend, you've got to, I mean, time is so valuable right now. I don't know if any of you have felt this, but everything is closed. We really can't go anywhere. You can't go to the movies. You can't go walk around the mall. You can't do anything. But yet, I don't know. Everybody I've seemed to talk to is busier than they've ever been. So I don't know how to explain this phenomenon other than, time has become a very, very precious commodity for us. So I want to be able to network with time very specifically focused on, so I can write business and then network with people who are my core referral partners. And here's how I do it. So the first thing I do is I separate, just like I'm shooting at a target, who are going to be my number one referral partners. And for me, I'm a independent insurance agent. So my referral partners are lenders, so mortgage providers, and realtors. So those are my key focus. I've quickly realized, based on how busy I can get by focusing on them, I really don't need to go much further out than that, which is great because it helps isolate exactly where I need to go. So for all of you guys, so for like an attorney, or for like, Brooke with credit card services and different things, you focus on, who is my food source? Just like any fish in the sea is out there trying to figure out, where do I go to get food, because survival is the most important thing. This is what you do. Who is my food source? And then you also want to ask yourself, who is the food source of my food source? Because you guys are both looking for the same exact things. So you not only want to go after your food source, but you also want to partner with the food source of your food source. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but think about it for a minute, you'll get it. So my A+, this is hitting the bullseye. This is a lender or a realtor that is just really rock solid in their market. They're able to, they're planted, they've got good referral partners, and they have multiple leads that they are able to provide on a regular basis. So for me, that is an A+ referral partner. They'll send multiple referrals to you every single month. And these are the people that you want to focus a majority of your time and attention on, to make sure that unfortunately, regardless of how close you are with a lot of people, it takes a long time to build a really great relationship or friendship. So for the most time, your referral partners, you will be out of sight, out of mind if you are not constantly putting a process together to talk and be in front of these referral partners and remind them of the value that you add to them. So these are my A plus. These are the, it's just, if you can put together an image of what you would think would be, man, I would love to network with that person. So this guy right here, he is my, that's my A plus man. He's put together, he's got good leads going on, he's just rocking it. I want this guy a part of my team. So that's my A plus. Sorry, jumping in, after the A plus, you want the A's. The A's are the people that are most likely to refer you. And so these are people that have sent you maybe a referral here or there, but they're again a lender that is able to move themselves into an A plus slot. So again, that's another one of my focus. This is a person where all you have to do is really just remember to contact them and be in front of them, and they will provide you with that referral. Holy cow, sorry guys. My phone is ringing like crazy. So that is my A. A's quickly move into A pluses, or they could possibly stay in A, which is fine. It's good to have a bunch of A's, because if you have 5 or 6 people that provide you with 1 or 2 solid leads a month, those add up very quickly. So A's are really good as well, even if they never ascend into that A plus. So next, these are the B's. Now the B's are people that have not really sent you a referral. They're kind of sitting in that limbo area, and they might send you one, but again, you've never asked. You've never pulled that hard out saying, hey, this is what I do. I would love to be able to send you some, I'd love to be able to kind of continue to build a friendship with you and let you send me some leads. Kind of like that guy. He's just kind of out there. You got to kind of remind him just that you exist and that you provide a great value, you have a great price, and you will always be there, on the ball whenever he needs anything. So next, C. These are people that might refer you in the future. So again, maybe you've asked them, maybe they've been polite, maybe they've sent you, some kind of indication that they are going to be a good referral partner. They do good business. This could also be somebody that is just starting in the industry. Like for me, a brand new realtor or a brand new lender that shows really, really good potential, but yet doesn't have that network available yet to constantly send you business. So again, this is somebody it's kind of up in the air. You don't really know which way. So I kind of fit those into my C's. So I really lump the B and C's together in one classification when I'm working with my referral partners. So next, you jump right into the O's. The O's are sitting between the C and the D. So this is where you have to decide, and this is the hardest part. This is where people, I think, networking, this is where they fail the most. They don't know how to disassociate or to not focus on the people who are going to do nothing but drain their resources. So you have to be able to meet the contacts. Again, this is at your referral groups. This is at, the B&I is maybe a little bit different because that's a dedicated marketing source. But, Rockstar, that's something that we run. And, you really have to sit down and evaluate the networking groups that you're going to and decide, is this networking group good or bad? And if it's bad, ask yourself, is it because of the people that are there, or is it because when I go to these groups, I don't deliberately try to network with anybody. I maybe see, Nikki and I see Kimball and I walk over to that table and I just hang out with them all day, which they maybe are already referral partners of mine. So what have I done other than just have a great, have a beer, have some food, and call it networking? Or truly, maybe it's just a meat market networking event that is a bunch of people that are only out for their own self-serving purposes. They don't want to refer anybody. They don't want a relationship. They're just looking for people to quickly give them some leads. That's what we call the spray and pray method. Throw out a bunch back to give me a sale. So again, and this is weird coming from me because I even run one of these events. I'm not a huge fan of them because I think they're too easily wasted. And I'll be quite honest with you. Look at what's happened to Rockstar even lately. You see one person with a mask on, And next thing you know, you're blasted all over the internet because you aren't, doing what you're supposed to, and you're not being, you're not being sensitive. You're not, and it wasn't your intention. It was just one guest that showed up that wasn't following the rules. And so it's just such a situation right now where live marketing and live networking doesn't exist. And again, I don't know however long it's going to be before that does again. So again, this method is a way of helping you to survive when something like this happens. So then, again, you need to find out when you're going to this, who is the food source of your food source? And what I mean by that is that I have a lender, and I know that lenders, in order to survive, need to have realtors. So I become very friendly with realtors, and I build my relationship with realtors, helping them to be able to grow their business, introducing them to the lenders. So now I become a very, very good commodity to my food source because I am helping them eat. I am providing them with introductions. I'm providing them with opportunities to meet new people. And now I am adding much more value than providing a $10 Amazon card for every lead they send over. And in this market right now, honestly, if you're working with a rock star, they don't care about a $10 Amazon card. They want connections. They want people to help give them more business. So again, that's what I use these events for. I use these to meet more realtors or grow my network. So when I do things with my referral partners, I now have a bigger pond to swim in. So lastly, the hard ones, the D's. D stands for delete. You've got to get rid of them. You've got to make them, even though they've given you maybe one referral in the past and they've been great, but yet they've been so much problems, and you just got to get rid of these people and remove them completely from your database, and not associate, and know that when you go to an event, columns. And again, that's what the guy looks like right there. It's just gimme, gimme, gimme. All you've done is just buy into that relationship. You've received nothing. And honestly, there are even some BNI relationships that are like that too, where you've done nothing but buy in and give and give and give. And that's it. There's nothing in return. So again, it's a tough way to help, try and figure it out. And people, I always get kind of flack when I say, you got to be able to fire your friends. And, sometimes they're great friends, but they're not great referral partners. And this is the model that helps me do it. So, okay. So now that we've done this, so the question is, you've got your list. Go through all of your referral partners. And I mean, for a realtor, maybe it's a little bit more difficult because for a realtor, everybody's a referral partner. So that doesn't really lock them down that much. But for me, when you have a very limited group of referral partners or people that you can survive on, this model works absolutely fantastic. And I think same for a financial planner, a couple others, you're going to have a core group of people that you're going to receive a significant amount of referrals from. So here's what I do. I divide my groups into two sections. I've got a group A and I've got a group B. And what I do with those is that just because the most important thing is you got to be consistent. And if you're not deliberate or you don't have a process in place in order to call on these people and to talk to them, then you might as well just, I don't know, pack up and, go work someplace else because you're not going to get any leads from them. So I like group A, I look on a calendar and I have a tracking sheet on my calendar. And that tracking sheet has, my month, and on that month, it lists week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Week 1 is group A, week 2 is group B. Week 3 is group A, week 4 is group B. And my calendar rotates through all the way through the entire year with my different groups. In those sections, I have, usually based on geography, because back in the days when you can actually go in and see people at an office and do those things, I would want them geographically together. So I know if I'm hitting multiple referral partners, I can do them all roughly in a day or two or 2 separate trips. But you'll see my group A, I have 2 A+ referral partners. These are people that are, these are my rock hard, just, constantly sending me referrals. I want to make sure that they're always taken care of. So on there, I might I did a pop by. Wanted to, go by the office, make sure that, we have like some snacks and things like that we provide for them, make sure that that's filled up, say hi to everybody really quickly. I know they're busy, so I'm not going to hang out and do too much conversing. So I'll get out of there and they've seen me. Another one is I try to do at least one lunch a week. I think it's important to get in front of people and just to let them know, you're not bribing them, you're not giving them, spec fees or anything like that. You're just saying, let me go out. I enjoy your company. I want to have lunch with you. And what you'll find is most of your A+ referral partners will become your friends. These will be the people that you do enjoy hanging out with and want to do these things. And the funny thing is, eventually you'll get to the point where they'll even stop wanting you to pay for it. They will want to share some of the costs just because they're already going to give you the referral. They just don't want it to be like you're, continuing to support the relationship. So again, then I go through group A's. Group A's might be some realtors, and I want to try and pair the realtors up with, my other, my group A pluses. So I might do a golf outing that involves a group, like an A person with an A+ person. So again, it's all about being deliberate in how you structure your day. So I have these set up on my CRM, my customer resource management tool, that reminds me every single week on very specific times. I do Mondays at 10 o'clock from 10 to 11. I focus on, and then I also do Wednesdays from 10 to 11. I focus on making my referral partner calls. And that's just as simply calling them up and just saying, hey, Dave, how's the week going? I saw on, Facebook this weekend that, you guys had a great time. How did that go? Nothing. I mean, other than just, saying hello and just, hey, let me know if you got anything going on this week. I'm busy, but I will put everything that you have right to the top. So I am deliberate about calling them. Now my B and C's are down below. I'll still follow up with them. So I know that everybody gets contacted once every 2 weeks. So I do 40 touches every month. And to me, yours could be 60, yours could be 80, yours could be 20. But for me, I know based on the total amount of referral partners I have that are actively referring me, I can only physically handle 20 people in my pipeline. And so I will then follow up 40 times, 40 touches every single month. Every person gets 2 contacts from me, either a phone call or a drop by or a postcard that I'll send out just saying, hey, just sitting here this morning before everything got going, I was just thinking about you, hoping your week goes well, and send that out. So there's a lot of different ways to contact and get in front of people, but this is the best way that I found. Now the B and C's, those are kind of sitting in that limbo land. So I'm watching them. I'm tracking them. Every single person has an ROI attached to them, so I can track them in my CRM and know every single lead that they have given me that has ended up in a dollar or cent. So if I'm looking at this after like 2 months or 3 months, I say, man, I've called this person. We've done lunch. We've done all this stuff because it's all tracked in my system. I know. I mean, man, I've probably dropped $150. I haven't gotten anything. I mean, nothing back. Then you can easily on this model, you can pop out your B and C. You can go back over to the parking lot and who is my next one that's lined up in the parking lot. And the networking events, that's where you meet your parking lot. And so I pull somebody out of my parking lot and I plug them right back into that new section. They have now entered into my bi-weekly contact, and we'll see how that grows from there. But I've seen way too many situations where new insurance agents have come in and they start foaming at the mouth because they have all of these great mortgage lenders that are in the Raleigh market. And man, some of them are doing 150 units a month. This is awesome. I'm gonna go, at Thanksgiving, I'm gonna buy them a pumpkin pie, and I'm gonna, get them a poinsettia at Christmas, and I'm gonna do this for all of the top 100 people out there. And so they've done a great job of making their name known, but they've done a horrible job of building any relationship whatsoever. And so every person that comes into our company, I sit down and I tell them, find the top 20 people that you can work with. And it doesn't have to be the best in the market. It could be that you have a great relationship with a realtor, and this realtor says, I use David Ford for every single thing that I do. Like, well, great. Now I have an introduction to David Ford, and I'm going to use that relationship to introduce me over here, and that person's now come in because now I've had an introduction to start building that relationship. So that's kind of how we walk through it. I do a bunch of different things with them, and that's probably the last thing I'll do. It's like, so what do you do now? First and most important is I just call to say hello. I just make it intentional that even if I haven't seen them, I mean, there's a couple of referral partners that I haven't seen in about 4 months, but I do make it an intention to give them a call and just say, hey, how are things going? Are you out and about? Or, are you back in the office yet? I just try to talk to them. The other thing is I try to do a pop-by. There are some people that are in the office. Their offices are open. They're working. And I've asked permission. You don't want to just drop in. And, I've just asked permission, hey, if I'm ever out, are you guys comfortable with me just coming by just to say hello? Because I'm going crazy here. I've got 4 kids in the house, and I got to get out of my car. And, a lot of them say, yeah, come on by. We'd love to see people. So again, ask permission and do pop buys. Bring by little snacks or bring by different things. I mean, obviously in this climate, you have to be very, considerate of what you are bringing by. So think about some things. I mean, if you want to bring by, gloves and face masks or whatever it is, I mean, and do all of that. So I might sit there and give them a call. I have one referral partner that has not gone out of their house at all, which is fine. And I said, listen, I want to do something for you. You've given me so much business. You mean a lot to me, and I want to thank you for it. Can I buy your family dinner tonight? And there's so many different meal plans. You can do something on Chipotle through Grubhub and have it shipped. Just say, where do you eat at? Tell me, what are your kids' favorite meal? Give me the order. I'm going to take care of it. Wednesday night, you're not doing dishes. I've got this taken care of. We're sending it to you. So again, that maybe costs like $35. I mean, if you already have a budget to do networking and marketing, yeah, I mean, that's cheap. And you have now become the most important person to that person that day, especially if it's a mom that does not have to do dishes and does not have to do, I mean, that, and because moms now are not only also that have kids are working at home and working their butt off doing the same thing that they were doing every day, but now they have full-time responsibility for also making sure that their kids are schooling. And I mean, oh my goodness, I do not know how in the world they do that at this point. So that's important to be able to kind of fill that gap. Another thing is just send them something fun. I mean, a couple of our referral partners that had kids, we went onto Amazon and sent them a package of different Rubik's Cubes. So just send them something that their kids can play with. I mean, I'm an adult and I love messing around with a Rubik's Cube. So again, another way just to have some fun and send them something that costs you maybe $15 on Amazon. Send it directly to their house and you're good. Co-host an event outside. So, I mean, like for me, I've got lenders that want to meet realtors. So there's a lot of realtors offices that are open. Why don't you do something outside? Have an adult lemonade party or something like that where everybody can be outside and just have fun and talk, and they can social distance all they want to and have some drinks and just get out for some adult time. I mean, we're in a culture right now where adult time is at a rare minimum. So help them have some adult time. Online events, like I host something kind of like what Kimball does. Do something like this, but focus on a referral partner. I know Scott and I, my business partner, we do something called Gaggle with the Geese. So we just bring on one of our referral partners every week, and we do an online show. And we don't focus on business. We don't focus on anything. We just focus on having fun. So we ask 3 questions. We ask, where's your, if you could go on vacation anywhere, where would you go and why would you go there? We ask, what separates you in your business from everybody else that's doing what you're doing now? Why should they choose you over anybody else? And if you can have one conversation with anybody, dead or alive, who would you choose and why? So just fun questions that allow people to get to know our referral partners in a way that most people never would. And just by asking personal questions, because I might know a bunch of financial planners, but Brian, there might be something that you might say in this interview that I might say, oh my goodness, that's the exact same person that I would have chosen to have, my drink with. I'm going to get a hold of this guy because I know we think exactly alike. So that's kind of, what we do with that. So different online events. And, like right now, honestly, golfing and other things, that's really the only thing you can do outside with people right now. So if you don't golf or you don't Frisbee golf or you don't do anything that is halfway sports related or, walking dogs or do something, that's what you want to invite your referral partners to be doing right now. So we try to, and also if you do like golf, it is a good way to golf and not get yelled at because you're spending too much time golfing. I mean, because come on, it's work. So again, what are your referral partners interested in? And pay attention and make notes in your CRM. So that's probably the best advice that I can give, is not only have the structure, so you have accountability of who you're going to contact, but also the accountability of when you are supposed to contact them, and then have a list or put into there, what do they like? I mean, do you know that this particular referral partner loves the Philadelphia Flyers? That's important to know, because that could be a fun gag that you do at Christmas time, sending them something about how maybe the Flyers suck or something like that. So there's a bunch of fun ways to have those interactions, but you've got to be deliberate and you've got to have it written down. You've got to have it structured, and you have to have a process in place, because before you could be successful. You could willy-nilly go out and network. You can go to the chamber, you can do things, and you can accidentally stumble into some good business. But with this right now, you better have a network in place, and you better be deliberate in who you're working with, or else you're not going to be able to get out and meet these new people. I mean, you're going to have to find a way to isolate who your core referral partner group is, and have that process then hold you accountable to making sure that you are in touch with them every single day. So I guess, I don't know, Kimball, whatever your format is or whatever, but if anybody has any questions or, you know, any comments on it, I'm not saying that my way is right. I'm just saying that it has allowed me to not have to network at all, and see growth in my business over the last, like, my business has grown since, to where I am, have not down, you know, since February. So my philosophy has been able to actually allow me to be more deliberate. I am talking to my referral partners more now and having more personal interactions with them now than I was able to when I could go out and do all this other stuff, because all this other stuff was taking up the time that I needed to do the stuff that I was supposed to. And so kind of put that in there. And that's why I said I don't think networking is going to be the same, at least for me, ever again, because I probably won't do these massive, huge, large events. I'm going to do very specific events that revolve around my referral partner network, and I'm going to work on always filling those bottom slots so I can continue to grow my very limited network. So that's it.
Okay, so I have two questions.
Yeah.
First one is, if you're focusing on referral partners that are real estate brokers and mortgage lenders, when you're giving out referrals, you're getting referrals from them. But if you have this many people that are mortgage brokers and realtors, I'm assuming you have more than one in each fund. How do you decide when you're giving out a referral who gets the referral?
That's a great question, because that becomes that slippery slope. And I was just talking about it with my business partner earlier this next week, of how we have a very difficult time when somebody puts on Facebook, I'm looking for this. And I'm like, I can't answer that question, you know, because I can't, you know, if I know that person, I will IM them and I will say, hey, I've got somebody for him. You know, let me know if you want a very personal, you know, referral. But I mean, that's why I do enjoy my BNI, because my BNI holds me accountable for referring very specifically to the people in my BNI. So, and that's why I try to do these other things, because they know you're going to have to create a referral network that works for you without you directly giving them a very specific lead. And that's why I build, you know, doing these other things and helping, and that's why I limit it. So I know I can help a realtor, because I can help grow their business and help their referral network to where they're going to be successful. So I'll buy into them that way. And that's what these larger events are for. I do them for my referral partners. But then my lenders, I can kind of say, well, let me introduce you to this person, or because I know that, for example, Christian, you know, it might really work better with this particular type of realtor that is a golfer, that, you know, because that's what he likes to do, and there could be a great connection, and maybe they both have kids that golf, and so they immediately have a bond. Whereas I have another lender over here that does something completely different, that I can say, I think you guys are going to work really well together. So that's kind of how I divvy it up.
Okay, I mean, because I know I have like three or four CPAs that I refer people to. It depends on what their situation is. So, and also, like you said, personalities. You know, I know certain CPAs, but then there's now a CPA in the BNI group that, you know, kind of feel obligated to offer to. The other question is, which you kind of answered, converting the O's to A's. So you said, you know, you say you drop one out and then you pick one, then you pick somebody else from the, like you said, the parking lot, or Bill Davis refers to as the outside woodshed and the inside woodshed, wood pile rather.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have certain parameters when you bring them from the parking lot to be a C partner, I guess, B or C? Do you have some kind of cutoff and say, okay, this isn't working, I'm going to cut you out and bring somebody else in?
Well, I think to me, it also helps because it allows me to be selective, and I can work with referral partners that I really enjoy working with. And so, I mean, that's my first criteria is, I mean, you know, do if we sat down for a glass of wine, or if we sat down and Kimball was to turn our wine into water and we were able to drink that, what exactly would we have a great conversation and enjoy hanging out? And so I think that's that honeymoon stage that allows us to kind of know, yeah, I mean, I agree with the person. Oh man, no, this person's a loose cannon, and honestly, we don't agree on anything. I mean, I'm perfectly fine because I know it's not going to be a great relationship. I will let them go on to the next person, and so I can kind of qualify them up or down from there. And somebody, I mean, like, I'll give you a perfect example. I have a lender that I work with who came on and wasn't really doing a lot. He was just getting started, but I knew he had really good potential, and I knew I just could keep him right there and continue to buy into him. And I mean, he all of a sudden just got it, and to where, I mean, he just started just knocking it out of the park. And now I'm in a position because I was there with him and stood in front of him all the way through that. You get a lot of that. People, they might be at a company that really, and is holding them back, whereas they go over now to a new company, and now the sky's the limit, and they start rocking.
Yeah. Okay. Great presentation. I might ask you if I can ever get my other group of 2,300 people who get their act together, who just want to get together for a beer every once in a while instead of doing some serious networking. I think it would be a great presentation to do for them also. But we'll see how that goes. I might do that as a kind of a come on also, because I was supposed to have Don McNeil to speak in March, and we know what happened to that. So
yeah,
maybe bringing on a speaker might be the key to shaking something loose in that group.
Yeah, that might be good. Anybody else have any questions?
Hey, sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Was that just me that just disappeared, or did that happen to everybody?
No, I think just you did. You were at one place on my screen, and then you were gone, and then you popped back up. So I think.
All right. Well, I'm back now, but regardless, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't know what part. I just kept on talking.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you a lot. And Dirk, I have recorded this, and I will get the raw footage to you, and then
awesome.
Go up in our group as well. Like I said, I really enjoyed this presentation when he did it from our BNI, and I thought it needs a lot more people to hear it. And I actually run a group over in Chatham County that I may talk to you about part of. And there are actually people over there looking for some insurance people. So do you do any business out that way in Chatham County?
Oh, we do. Yeah, we are we are pretty much in entire North Carolina, Florida, Illinois, and now Arizona. So yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah, I got to get you connected with my gal out there. I think she's right outside of Phoenix, but I'm not totally sure about that. So I will get you in touch with her. She used to live in this area. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else, then we will call it a day for today. Please join us again next week. We have a different speaker each week. And right now, I don't have that speaker rotation in front of me. I should, but it was kind of a crazy morning. I will be putting it out on Facebook, and I encourage you to tell other people. It's a great people to drop by. What we do each week is we work to bring some value to everyone who shows up. And, well, I will tell you that one of the things that I'm working on right now with Drew Becker is Drew got a bunch of different business owners and entrepreneurs to write a book called Thriving Beyond the Storm. And I actually was one of the authors for that. And we became bestsellers in the first day that it hit Amazon. So that was kind of cool. But I'm thinking about having as many of those authors come and do a presentation on what they put in the book. Because I think it is just like Dirk said, we will never go back to the way that we did business before. And, we're always sad when life changes, but I believe that the only thing we can count on in life is that it will change. And crises are actually where we grow the most. So I encourage people to look at this time as an opportunity as opposed to just dark days. And, a great opportunity to see where you're going to be going in the future. And like I said, I'm hoping to have these authors in because each of these people has done something that is helping their businesses thrive, and we want to save it. The other thing that I'll tell you is that The book is out there, and when you purchase it, it's $3.99. And if you buy it from Realization Press, the whole $3.99 goes to the Food Bank of North Carolina. If you buy it on Amazon, they take their cut and then it goes. So we are really working to raise as much money as we can. And I think it's kind of a fun way to get some good information and to also raise some money, because there are some people that are not doing as well right now.
And I think through all this, Kimball, really quick, sorry, is I think we've all been given a gift. And for some people, I don't know if they realize it or not. You know, I mean, I was going crazy just being everywhere and trying to do all this stuff, you know, over the last couple of years of starting my business. And by doing this networking the way this is, it's allowed me to, I'm busy, but I'm at home. And, you know, I mean, I miss not seeing my kids. I mean, it's a part of me. I mean, I'm lucky to have my kids home a lot. And, you know, it's a joy to really be able to get up and work whenever I want to and stay in my house and go down and, you know, be able to, you know, go and have breakfast with them and come back up and work some more. And I think, you know, if you network properly, you'll be able to, I mean, at this point too, if we're not meeting and we're doing everything virtual, I mean, why not? I mean, like I'm opening up Arizona. I plan on going, and I'm going to spend a month or two in Arizona, and I'm not going to miss any networking, because I don't have to be in place. I can continue to do this process no matter where I'm at. I mean, you know, hey, go down to Costa Rica for a month. Nobody will know. And, you know, say, David, get that like green screen that's got the window right there or whatever. And, you know, you're like, I'm just sitting at my house. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, no, I just look at it as a gift. I think God has given us the opportunity to be able to sit back and reflect, and, you know, either we capitalize on it or we turn our life into a living heck.
That is absolutely true. One of my favorite people was Helen Keller. And when I was a kid, I saw there was an old movie that had been made about her, and I was just so mesmerized, because even as a kid, I love art, I love music. And I thought this lady couldn't see or hear. And so I became very, very interested in reading about her and all. And I love so many of her quotes. One of my favorites is that there's a lot of suffering in the world, but there's a lot of overcoming it. And 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to get an all expense paid trip from my company to Japan for 2 weeks. And I found out that Helen Keller, that they loved her there, and that she visited there over and over again in her life. When she died in the 60s, people weren't doing as much traveling then. And here was this woman who was blind and deaf, and the last time she went to Japan, she was in her 80s. And so that just made me more inspired by her. But, you know, what it always reminds me is that no matter where you're at, no matter how dire the situation, something good can come of it if you just keep looking for that solution and keep pivoting. And I think that I believe I see lots of positive things. I see now, certainly there are families that have conflict and it's hard for them being there, but so many families are spending more time together than they were before this. A good friend of mine who's an attorney in Smithfield was telling me, he said, Kimball, I told my kids in a few years, we're going to look back on this and we're going to talk about this was the good old days. He said, I hadn't used my dining room table in years. He said, we cleared that sucker off and we're eating at it every day. And I mean, so look for those positives, because there is a lot of positive if we really look for it. And, you know, that's one of the things, Lunch for Life, I like to keep that as our thought each week, is that let's share the positive as business owners and let's help each other grow, because what you put out in the universe, it's going to come back to you. So thank you all for joining me today. Have a great week, and I hope to see you back next week. Bye-bye.